So let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. Now, the bombing of the Iranian consulate in the Syrian capital of Damascus on the 1st of April has marked an unprecedented escalation by Tel Aviv against Tehran. Now, the Israeli bombing killed Iran's top soldier, Brigadier General Mohammad Reza Zahedi, amongst other Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps commanders. And now the prospect of an Israeli retaliation against the Iranian reprisal for the drone and missile attack that was carried out by Iran over the weekend has put the entire of West Asia on edge. The United States and the European Union have said that they want to take this forward by imposing new sanctions on Iran's IRGC. Now, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is the ideological custodian of the Iranian 1979 revolution. They were created to protect the new Islamic regime. The IRGC has in fact become one of the most powerful military organizations in the whole of West Asia. The IRGC has provided assistance to several armed groups in Afghanistan, Iraq, Lebanon, the Palestinian territories, Syria and Yemen. Answering directly to the supreme leader, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps is extremely influential in domestic politics, and many senior officials have in fact passed through its ranks. And as per the Council on Foreign Relations, its control on large sectors of the Iranian economy also helps it fund its activities. The sweeping American sanctions don't seem to be limiting its regional power. Now, hoping to steer the state of Israel away from a retaliation and a much larger war in West Asia, the United States and Europe have now flagged a toughening of sanctions against Iran. Remember, Iran anyway is one of the most sanctioned nations on earth. The United States is now planning to impose more sanctions that target Iran's missile and drone programs and expects its allies with following suit. Earlier, the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen had said that the United States will use sanctions and will work with allies to keep disrupting Iran's malign and destabilizing activity. She also stated that all options to disrupt the Iranian financing are on the table. The EU's foreign policy chief said that some member states had in fact asked for sanctions against Iran to be expanded. Speaking in Brussels after an emergency video call of foreign ministers, Joseph Borrell said that the bloc's diplomatic service will begin working on the proposal. Now, Israeli Foreign Minister Katz has said that he was leading a diplomatic attack, writing to 32 nations to ask them to place sanctions on Iran's missile program. Now, the minister is urging for nations to follow the United States in proscribing Iran's dominant military force, which is, of course, the Revolutionary Guard Corps, as a terror group. While the Israeli security forces regularly target the IRGC-linked groups in Syria, the core other opponents tend to eschew a military approach. The former American President Donald Trump had designated the IRGC to be a foreign terror organization in April 2019. It was the first such designation of a state security agency. Joe Biden had kept the IRGC on the terror blacklist. The European Parliament voted in 2023 to impose its own foreign terror organization designation on the IRGC. However, the EU foreign policy chief had said that the bloc's High Court will first need to rule on this matter. Now, the bloc has sanctioned people and groups tied to the IRGC for abusing the anti-government protesters in Iran and also for supplying drones to Russia. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.